Joining us now, the car coach, Lauren Fix, automotive industry analyst, carcoachreports.com, and author, Lauren Fix's Guide to Loving Your Car. Lauren, thanks for being with us. It's good to see you.
Well, thank you. Good to see you as well.
Okay, so according to analysts over at LexisNexis, who looked at all the insurance data, in the first year, when a driver switches from a petrol or this gasoline fuel car to an electric vehicle, the frequency of insurance claims rises by about 14%, while the severity of claims, or the amount that has to be paid out, increases by 14.5%. So we'll get to some of the reasons there in a moment. But how reliable is this analysis? Because there is at least anecdotal evidence from Hertz, which kind of supports these findings, right?
Right, it is true. I think the insurance rates are the biggest thing that people see every day, whether you're a good driver or you're a driver that doesn't pay attention. But the cost of replacement parts is really expensive. And of course, the cost of labor is higher. So all of these are really solid numbers.
And in the US, when we are talking about electric vehicles, we're essentially talking Tesla, simply because of their dominance of the EV market. And I want to show you what happens to a Tesla Model X during a crash test. There it is. What is notable in this is that because of Tesla's battery being so heavy, when a Tesla hits something, one of the reasons here for this increased payout of claims and the extra cost of claims, when they hit something, a Tesla causes a lot more damage than a gasoline-powered vehicle, right?
Absolutely. It's a heavier vehicle, so you just got forward motion in this case. But also think about the fact that if you're a repair shop and you're repairing a gasoline-powered car or a hybrid, you replace the components as we've always done that. We know it's expensive. We try to replace them with factory parts. When you're talking about a battery, you have to replace the whole battery cell assembly. And a lot of times, and this would make the situation even worse, if one battery cell overheats and potentially catches fire, there'll be a chemical reaction. It'll take the whole vehicle out. It'll be a total loss. So car manufacturers are aware of this, but the insurance manufacturers are very concerned, and so are the reinsurance companies. They insure the insurance companies. They know it's going to be higher, so they're charging higher rates for the possible of a total.
Wow, okay. And some of the reasons for the increase in accidents and the increase in claims include acceleration. The Tesla Model 3, for example, the long-range one, goes 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, just over 4 seconds. That compares to a BMW 330i, 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds. There's also the fact that EVs don't have the sound of a combustion engine, which for many drivers, we're used to that as an indicator of a speed. So, are these issues similar to what Toyota experienced with Prius? You're adding an engine noise because of a jump in the number of pedestrians being hit, or are there bigger issues at stake here?
Well, I think there's a lot of issues at stake. When you drive a car, if you've been trained to drive any vehicle, you're used to using your vision, the feeling, the sound, but there's no sound. When there's no sound, you don't have an expectation of acceleration. It's sort of like using a video game. People don't have that engagement. And so when that's missing, you have no crescendo of noise, and the noise gets louder. And so I think that consumers miss that, especially if you're used to driving a gasoline-powered vehicle. And that is quick acceleration. I mean, unless you've got a lot of experience, like I race cars, it's a little different. I'm used to that, but someone who's not used to that quick acceleration could find themselves in an accident very easily at a traffic light and not even realize it till they've already hit something. So these are all factors to be considered. I mean, I think just overall, it's a matter of learning these cars, and that would be something that you could overcome over time if you're just paying attention.
I'm just wondering about that issue, though. Are these issues big enough, for example, to require maybe an extra level of training, extra certification for people to actually get behind the wheel of an electric vehicle, be it a Tesla or whatever, and learn about these things before they hit the open road?
Well, I would say the driver's ed does not teach people much like they did when we learned how to drive. Now they teach you there's 3 fluids and that's it, and go drive it. If there's a problem, let us know, call AAA, because they're the ones doing a lot of the classes. So it's really important to note that if you have a new driver in your house or you're new at this, try playing with it in a parking lot where there's no telephone poles, like you would when we learned how to drive on snow. Go out there, get used to it. Get comfortable with it so you understand the acceleration and the braking. You should be doing that anyhow. And that's just a matter of learning like anything else. And for new drivers, have them take the time to learn it, because that can be real expensive on your insurance. If a young driver is in an accident, it's definitely going to elevate the price of your insurance on a monthly basis. And
just overall for Tesla, not exactly the best kind of news for Tesla, which has had its own history of safety issues in the past, to add this on to what the company's already experienced. It's not a good look, is it?
Well, I think that Tesla has led the market by a long shot, 63%. I'm not the biggest fan of their build quality, but they have a huge amount of fans And you say anything negative, all their fans come and attack. They really love their cars. And that's great. But note that he has lost quite a bit of market share in other countries, such as China, where BYD has outsold them for the first time. So I think you're going to start seeing them maybe reduce some of their footprint and increase in other brands. But Tesla literally is the leader in this market, and they've blazed the trail. Everyone is following. And although they've had a lot of issues along the way, they seem to always get around them. I'm not sure how that happens, but it just seems to be that Elon Musk is made of Teflon.
The Teflon Tesla. Lauren, thanks so much for being with us. Hope to see you again. See you again soon.
All right. Thank you so much.